Check 1, 2, 3. Check 1, 2.
Hello, testing. Awesome. Is everybody? Can I start now? Should I start now? I'm so nervous.
Get the okay from Sophie.
Okay.
So my remarks are going to be like, we have 5 questions prepared.
Yes.
Then we'll have time for audience questions.
Yes.
This will run until roughly 4, but we'll take questions until there are none remaining.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Soup. Soup. Sophie. Sophie. Okay. Good afternoon, everybody. Can I have everybody's attention, please? Can everybody take seats now? Quiet down. Okay. So good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for coming to our presidential candidate forum for elections 2019-2020. My name is Saraf Hashmi, and I am the board development officer. Today, joining us are our presidential candidates, Mr. Justin Paula Lim and Mr. Karamjit Singh. Each candidate gets 3 minutes for an introduction, and Karamjit will go first. Please.
Hello. Okay. So I will be starting by reading this beautiful quote, which is, if you think you can, or you think you can, you're right. And this beautiful quote is by Henry Ford, where everything depends on us. We always have a chance. If you truly think that you can, you'll always find a way. If you think you can, you'll always find excuses. Thank you. My name is Karamjit Singh. I'm a third-year student of Leadership and Management program. I have been involved with college from my first month. I came to Centennial for Paint the Town Green. I was there out listening to students, helping them in different roles. I was serving as international student ambassador, where helping students, building their timetable on their first day, or directing them to their classroom, which gave me confidence to be out, talk to students, help them, gave me a good listening skills, also providing campus tours to prospective students and their families, which make me a good representative of college, as I was the one they were meeting for the first time from Centennial College. I was the brand ambassador for the Great Canadian Sales Competition. That's the Canada's biggest student competition. Maybe some of you have participated by doing a video. Congratulations, we got first position all over Canada. And the competition, there were 80 colleges and universities, those who were participating in that. So it gives me motivational skills and keeps me self-motivated and how I can motivate others. Being on different roles at school, I always think outside the box, where, as I mentioned, the beautiful quote by Henry Ford, that you always have a choice. So choice was mine, that if I want this or if I want this. It's a day-to-day thing where we can make choices. And I think that we all will do this, and let's do this. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Singh. Our next candidate is Justin Paulo Lim. Mr. Lim, go ahead, please.
To the Centennial College community, good afternoon. My name is Justin Paulo Lim, and I'm currently serving as the Vice President of Morningside Campus. I also was given the privilege of serving as the Vice President of a provincial advocacy group called the College Student Alliance since last year. Currently, this is my second term in the CCSAI. CCSAI has given me the chance to expand my horizon, to give a chance to show my capabilities, to give me a family. And this is something I want our student body to have as well. Being able, as an international student from Uganda, from a Filipino-Chinese background, I know how hard it is to live in a different culture, to come to a different country, to take on new challenges. But the CCSAI has helped me to get established here in Canada, and I want our students to do the same. I'm also a student of architectural technology, which means that I dedicate so much of my time, my passion, and capabilities in finishing those projects. Actually, I have a project due tonight, but because of this, I have to come here. Anyways, so why Justin? Well, Justin is an international student who understands how hard it is to live in another country, like what I said. Justin is also a passionate worker, someone who will work towards his goal, towards platforms such as mental health, equality, inclusion, representation, and serving this with integrity. I'm standing here because I want our students to have a better community. I'm not saying that the previous years has not been good, but I know that there's ways that we can achieve new heights. I want to lead a team of students, board members, and our staff to give our students chance to excel their education here in Canada, to have a better time while in Centennial College, and a better education while they're in class. Here I am standing in front of you as your presidential candidate because I want to change Centennial College, and I want our students to feel the same. I want this change for now and in the future, and I believe that together we can.
Thank you, Mr. Lim. So to facilitate today's forum, we have a very dear friend of CCSAI joining us from Student Life. Here's Mr. Eric Schwenger.
Test. Hear me? Okay. Thank you, Justin and Karimjit, for your introductions, and welcome everybody to the CCSAI Presidential Candidate Forum. We'll have 5 questions with 3 minutes for each candidate to answer each question, and then some time for audience questions as well at the end. So to start us off, Justin, if elected, what would be your top priority, and how would you go about realistically addressing it?
Thank you so much. Well, I'm running on 3 different platforms, but this is not limited to that. One of them is mental health. Being a student, I know how hard it is to study and at the same time balance life while having family responsibilities and work, because we all need to survive. So if I get to be the president, mental health would be one of the issues that I'm looking at. 2, is equality. I'm aware that there are 5 campuses and 2 learning sites and people from different diversity and people from different groups. This is something that I want to cater. Being a person who is considered as a third culture individual, I believe that I can relate this to our students. I will push for our board and our student association to have more intentional programming, to have our students more events, not just always party. What of people who are introvert? Let's give them a chance to enjoy while they're in college too. Another one is engagement and employment. I want our students to be as engaged as possible, as well as giving them platforms to develop their soft skills for employment, as well as getting to know different peoples from different parts of the world. Additionally, one thing that I also want to focus on is employment. I am aware how hard it is to find a job out there. Being in a GTA, our job market is very, very hard. So why not bring our stakeholders to Centennial College, not just in Progress Campus, but in all 5 campuses? Being able to lead Centennial College Student Association, I will make sure to have that our students have equal opportunities, and integrity and equity is always at its best. I also want to lead. I also want to make sure that our students are comfortable and heard while they're in Centennial College, not just from Progress Campus, but in all 20,000 students from different campuses. Thank you.
Thank you, Justin. Karanjeet?
Okay, yeah. So there is a big to-do list for me. Being a student, I was experiencing a lot of things which I wanted that we can bring at Centennial or we can change. I would like to work on overall structure of CCSAI, where being a huge association, not a lot of students know about the role of CCSAI at college. So first of my priority will be awareness. Even if we talk about college or CCSAI, there are many services being provided by CCSAI which students don't know about. For example, you can book an appointment with lawyer for free, or you can come anytime in the office hours and borrow a calculator. So being sure that we are making students being valued, and then telling them what is there in CCSAI to offer, and also within the college community, so that they don't end up spending money outside or they feel inclusive. And if we talk about awareness, it's not just talking about the services. It's also about mental health. They feel that they are being heard, they are being valued. I want all of the Centennial students to think that CCSAI is an inclusive space, talking about events or services again. And my second priority will be negotiating with TTC, as students to pay a lot of amount on TTC bus pass. So if we can get a universal bus pass and having more services in the rush hours. I would say this is my third priority, and the second priority will be the food bank. Many students, they starve.
Is this mic on? Thank you. Okay, thank you. Question 2, this time Karanjeet will be answering first, Justin second. Centennial now has 5 campuses and 2 learning sites. What are your plans to ensure fair access to CCSAI services and representation across all of our campuses and learning sites? 2 minutes.
Yes. So as I mentioned that I am a student here at Centennial College and not just at Progress Campus, which I also tell to other students that you are not just a student at campus, you are taking your classes. You are a student at Centennial and you can use all the services provided by different departments in different campuses. And how I will do that? I was already doing that, being a student ambassador, going to different campuses for a campus tour, where I was telling students that what other campuses have to offer. So it would not be different, like a big change for me. I take classes here, I go to different campuses for that. Also keeping that in mind that every campus is unique in its own way. We have students with their own mindset and different campuses because they are from different programs. Talking about Morningside, where it's science and nursing, and here it's business, mechanical. So keeping all of that thing in mind and having a good relationship with different departments, building that relationship with departments at different campuses and following up. Also having a regular meetings with vice presidents of different campuses and follow up if there is a need, and having my physical presence at different campuses as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Singh. Mr. Lim? Yes, Centennial has 5 campuses and 2 learning sites. What are your plans to ensure fair access to CCSAI services and representation across all of the campuses and learning sites?
Thank you so much. So being a vice president of Morningside campus, it does not limit me just to serving Morningside campus. I make sure that I go to different campus, learning different opportunities and services from other campuses. Sometimes you'd see me at Progress campus engaging, dancing, or like just talking to students. Sometimes you see me on Story Arts singing under the ramp. At Ashton B, looking at motorcycles or like the cars or something and talking to students. So, like what I said a while ago, equity and inclusion of different campuses is one of my priorities. And I can do this by making sure that the students are heard, making sure that the services that we have in one campus is served in all other campuses. One thing that I'm proud of that I've done as my vice president role is that lawyer services is now offered at Morningside campus. Before it wasn't there, that students have to travel to other campuses just to have lawyer services. But I'm aware that how hard it is, especially in winter, to travel from one campus to another, or just to go to another campus because you're far from home. I would also push for like our student association not to limit themselves in the campus that they are in, because I'm aware that it is a collaborative work effort by the board member, and I want to lead those board members. Together, we can have equality of services in all other campuses.
Thank you, Justin. All right, on to question number 3. Justin, you're first. The January 17th announcement from Premier Ford's office regarding the Student Choice Initiative will significantly affect student life at Centennial College. What is your reaction to this announcement, and what steps will you take to ensure that students understand how they are impacted by it?
Personally, I've been broken by this news. I'm aware that a lot of our students rely on student association just to get by day in Centennial College. The announcement won't just affect the student associations, but the OSAP. I'm aware that a lot of our students rely on OSAP just to get their education, just to get a better life, and as well as support their responsibilities. As a member of the provincial advocacy group, we strive to talk to all the ministers, try to talk to the folks at Queen's Park. We do not stop. We stay late at night just to advocate for students, send those letters, talk to other student associations, and see how we all can work together just to advocate for our students in Ontario. I know the student association might be affected because of the opting in, opting out process, but I'm rest assured that with my leadership and the work of the board members and the staff of CCSAI, we can get by this obstacle. We together can make events and services that doesn't really need money. We don't have to spend so much money just to make our students happy. It's as easy as talking to students, getting them heard, and working together, finding sponsorship, getting the community together to work for our students, because it is important that our students have a good life in Centennial College to succeed now, and so that when they go out there, they have better jobs, better opportunities, and get rid of all the debts that they have while they're in Centennial College.
Thank you, Mr. Lim. Karimjit?
Thank you. I know the announcement is not a good news, but if we talk, so the first thing I will be mentioning about opt-in and opt-out for student association. Yes, it will be affecting student association, but it will also motivate all the board members to go out and talk to students and show them the value of being a member of CCSAI. Where I will again mention about the services, which I know that even if you are sitting here, you probably won't know all the services. So just making them aware, being out, adding that in course outline where students, they know like what CCS is all about before they opt in or opt out. They should be aware of and not just think that they will be saving money and then they opt out. So that awareness part will be very helpful here. And being a vice president now for Progress Campus, we were working with MPPs where we were letting them know that this will be affecting students' life. So, and then we'll continue that advocating for students, making students heard, that we are always here to listen to them if they have anything. We are here. So students' choices will matter CCSAI, but we'll change this into a positive thing where being more out with students, attracting more with students, and showing them the value of CCSAI. Thank you.
Thank you, Karimjit. Okay, on to question 4. And a reminder, after we finish this question and the next one, we'll have some time for questions from the audience as well. So question 4, it continues to be increasingly important to know the exact needs of the student population in order to offer valuable services and activities to students. How would you ensure that the CCSAI makes decisions based on student needs data? Karimjit.
So here, I was always advocating on that we don't have to be just sitting in the office and making decisions for students that what they want, and it's not just starting starting a new service or having an event like a small event on campus, being out talking to students that what they want, and then doing something. Building relationship with different departments where they know that what student is looking for, having that relationship with success advisors, because students, they are the ones those who deal with students on a day-to-day basis. They know what the students they are looking at campus, and then just making students aware what we can do so they can approach us, being more approachable, and then collecting data, researching, and we'll do this. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Karimjit. Mr. Lim?
Well, right now, the Student Board 2018-2019 has started an initiative called Data-Driven Model. So we collect as a board member and staff and volunteers, we all collect together data that will help our students collect information that will push for our decisions while we're in the boardroom. Other than that, beside the data that we've been collecting, I'm the kind of person who's out there, who will only sit in the office when necessary. I'm always out talking to students, just getting involved, like getting to know the community. It is important as the future president that you get to know your students, that you're not up almighty, but you are one of the students, because together you can make a difference. Also, having, like what my fellow candidate has said, partnership with different departments, partnership with different schools in the college. Well, as a person who's always out there, I believe that I have strong relationship with different departments, not just at Morningside, but in different colleges, different schools and campuses as well. If you go to Story Arts, they can tell you who Justin is. If you go to Morningside, obviously they can tell you who Justin is. If you go to Progress, same. Ashton B as well. Well, sometimes they might not call me Justin, but they call me Beyonce sometimes. However, this is something that students can relate to. I make sure that the students can relate to me so that I can know what their problem is, know what their concerns are, and making myself approachable is something that I've always been doing. And this is a way of me collecting data to serve our students. And I want this for the future board to do the same, that we stay less in the office and be more out there. Be part of the student community, not just being part of the board.
Thank you, Justin. Okay, our fifth and final question before we turn it over to audience questions. Justin, please start us off with this one. What value do you think that the CCSAI brings to students, and how do you plan to expand on that value?
Well, one thing that the CCSAI does is improve student life on campus. This is something that we've always been attached to, the statement that we always go through. And I believe that having the value of inclusion and despite diversity and making sure that students are heard throughout the campus is important. And as a person, like what I said, as a person from a different cultural background and being raised in a different country, this is something that I can easily relate to. I want our students to have a better life on the college and making sure that they feel included in the student association, because that's what a student association is, a group of students, not just a group of leaders. And and another value that the student association have is making sure that we advocate for our students, not just in the college, but in outside as well. And this is something that I've been working on since I started. Even though I might not be part of a provincial group, it is something that I enforce myself. Like, it's outside of my job responsibility, but I push for it to making sure that our Centennial College students are heard not just in the college, but in the provincial or the municipal level. I've been talking to different student associations and different colleges as well, making sure that whatever works for them and we might see work for Centennial College is applied here.
Thank you, Justin. Mr. Singh?
Yes, thank you. So CCSA values will be being transparent, that whatever going with CCSAI should be out, which is still, and then keeping that continued. Staying, so on the CCSA website, it said that staying with the customer until you get the answer. So staying with the student until the answer is being found, and not just directing student and just forget about it. Follow up, and then make sure that they are at the right place they wanted to be. And I am proud that what I have done being in college for 3 years, with serving as in different roles, and I will be continuing that. And it's not just about a board of 15 people serving students. I think we all are leaders, and one of the value for CCSA will be creating leaders. We are leaders, but still giving that vision to students, being out and listening to them, guiding them, and creating leaders at Centennial, because we all are leaders also. Thank you.
Thank you, Karanjit. Okay, so we will now turn it over to the audience. If there are any questions from members of the audience, please feel free to bring them forward now. I'd ask that if you have any questions, please come towards the front so that myself and the candidates can hear you. So I'll open up the floor for any audience questions. Okay, we have a mic. Thank you, Lavi.
Hi, I'm part of CCSAI. I work with the CCSAI, so I'm proud to be part of that. But I have a question to both of you. Last few months back, when I came to the office to have a help from the office with my friend, so he works with the mechanical club, so he just needs the CCSAI help to get the mechanical club advertised with the CCSAI. But he didn't get any reference or answers from CCSAI. So my question is, if someone comes, like he's also part of the CCSAI and he didn't get any help, if the part of CCSAI is not getting a help, how can you assure that someone else? So you said the CCSAI is part of students. So if someone else comes to CCSAI and if they don't get any help, so how can we assure that we get the help from you?
Have you both understood the question? Okay, Karanjit?
Thank you for bringing that up. So what I understood is that you went to the office and you asked about the club, mechanical club. You can, I can hear you.
He's the publicity officer of the mechanical club. So he just had a contest there, the logo contest, because the mechanical club doesn't have a logo. So the logo contest was published, but it is not getting that much publicity because the mechanical club doesn't have so much publicity. So CCSAI is having more publicity than the mechanical club. So with the help of CCSAI, they would like to get the logo competition on. But for the help of CCSI, he came to talk with the CCSI staffs, but he didn't get any assistance or something, so he was not given any reply. So he came to us and he was just asked to contact other persons. So the contest was ending at February last, so that was not a reason. Like he didn't get a spontaneous action. So the contest is over now, and there was no logo still. So that's my question. If someone comes, the staff is not getting the assistance. So if someone else from outside comes in, and how can you make sure that they get the correct assistance that they need?
So to clarify, as president, how will you ensure that the CCSAI upholds its service level to students?
Yes. Okay. Thank you for clearing that. So in that case, I'm not sure to whom you spoke to, but also we for now are not promoting like an individual club, which we can look in future. And also, as you brought that social media, CCSA, we have more publicity than our individual group. But still, we have to work a lot more than getting more followers on Instagram or Facebook, which we will, as a president, I will be going out and then asking students in different activities that we get more of that publicity. So thank you for bringing that up. I understand, but at this point, correct me if I'm wrong, Randine, that we are not promoting an individual group at our CCSI page, right? Yes. So yeah, but we can look. I completely understand that. What do you mean by saying that? Because you're a part of CCSAI, working here, and also being a club member, and you want your club to spread. You want it to be out in students that the students they know. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Singh. Justin?
One, I want to say sorry that it happened to you and or your friend, but the CCSAI, like what my fellow candidate said, has certain protocols and policies before we promote someone else or like a logo, like what you said. This is something that we have to go by from our rules, just because so that we maintain equality and fairness to everyone that we serve. But if something as a reference or like a recommendation, it is something that can easily be drafted as long as it's not of conflict or it's for a good cause, or like a competition. We would be happy to support it. However, like what I said, we have policies that we have to go by before we get this approved, and we have a board that is a collective voice before we do something that needs to be consulted. But if this is something that we can work together and like coming forth, if I become the president, that would be something that we can look at. And lastly is I would like to thank you for your working with us in CCSAI. I've seen you around here and you're doing a good job. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Lim. Okay. Other questions from the audience? There's one in the back.
Hi, my name is Aloysius. I just want to ask you one thing. Like, I'm in the hospitality department. So we are having 4 semesters, and 3 are like class and other things, and the 4th semester is the co-op. So we don't have any class in the college. The 2 courses are online. The main reason is that if we work in the college, like in the local or CCSA, we are unpaid. Sorry, not in CCSA. If we work in the local, it's unpaid. But we need to pay the full fees, like the 7,500. Like you both guys are from your international students. So you will be knowing that the 7,000 is not a small amount. You need to work hard to get that money. So we are paying the 3 semesters fees and we are not having any class and we need to pay the full fees. It's unfair. So what do you guys think? What change can you bring to that?
Justin?
Well, this fees and tuition fees is something that the Student Association does not control. However, this is something that we can work and advocate for. This is something that with my connections and the board members' connection, we can all work together to talk to the stakeholders or like the departments who are involved in this. And like what I said a while ago, there are policies in schools that we cannot change because of the understanding from CCSAI being a different, CCSAI is not part of the Centennial College institution. It is a partner of Centennial College. And this is tuition fee, like I understand that the problem is it's very expensive and getting working in the local is hard. But like what I said a while ago, one of my priorities as well is employment. So like bringing stakeholders here, working with the co-op and career department to bring our students, to bring our employers here on campus to have our students better co-op jobs, better like employment after graduation is something that I'm really working on.
Thank you. Karimjit?
Okay, thank you. Thank you for bringing that up again, I would say, because I have heard that many times. And I will be researching on this. I would like to ask you, have you researched that being an international student, there is one thing that the fees is more, that is a completely different story. But have you researched for different schools that if international student at different school have being in a hospitality program is paying less fee, and then we can advocate for that what is the difference between these two schools, what Centennial is providing more and then what other school is providing less, so if there is a fee difference. So
Well, we'll just keep your comments to the first question.
okay, yeah, okay, so yeah, that is the thing that we can advocate for this. Fee is not a part, as Justin mentioned, that CCSI don't decide on fee, but if there is something which is a completely different at Centennial, we can always advocate research. That is one decision, a data decision, that we can bring the data and then we can put it together and say that this is the thing. Yes, we are a different partner, but we are for students. We are for Centennial students, even if we are a different partner, and we are always there for students. Thank you.
Thank you, Karimjit. We'll take one more audience question, I think from Bobby in the front, and then we'll go ahead with the closing remarks from the candidates.
Okay, so my question's about something that Karimjit mentioned during his introductory speech. So he was talking about inclusion for students that don't feel included in different events that happen here on campus. So I'm happy that you talked about that, because that is something that I myself personally feel, and also a lot of the other students that I know feel. So what exactly are your plans with regards to, so it's not, I just don't want to know about what you are, I also would like to know what Justin's plans are with regards to this. So that's my question.
With regards to inclusion?
Inclusion, like how they plan to help other students feel, so students who are not part of the majority group on campus feel included in events.
Thank you. Karimjit?
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Bobby, for bringing that up. Inclusion is, I understand when you talked about the majority group, and it's not always about throwing DJ night. So with my inclusion, I will say that to go out, talk to students, we still have, it's not just like 2 or 3 or 5 countries. We have students from many, many countries, and we always welcome an opportunity to come and talk to CCSAI. So if you have a plan or any idea that you want to do event on campus, that is one of the inclusion, and also considering mature students in a way that they have their family, they have work, they have classes. So how they can benefit from CCSAI, that is inclusion. Keeping in mind that accessibility needs of different students is inclusion. When we order food, at different events or anything we do, that is inclusion that we keep everyone in mind. So inclusion is a different perspective, and then we will be working on this thing where not just one majority feel that that event is for them, but everyone feel that they are welcome. And even now, I would say that you are always welcome to bring any idea or anything you would like to see on campus, and we will try our best to make that possible. Thank you.
Thank you, Karim. Mr. Lim.
Well, I would like to start by thanking my fellow candidate for defining what inclusion is. However, this is one of, like I've mentioned this a while ago, as one of my platform being equity and inclusion in different campuses, and not just in different campuses, but in different groups of people. Like inclusion is more than just people from different parts of the world. It's about people of different walks of life, ability, age, religion, sex. Let's go on and on. But this is something that we in Morningside has been focusing on. We have been looking at ways on how we can encourage as many people as possible. It's called intentional programming. So we strive to make our programs be less named as something. For example, we would call a mental health initiative self-care instead of mental health, because we are aware of those stigmas that comes around with certain programs. So this is something like having those changing words, or like making sure that our space is accessible, making sure that it's not just in one campus, but in all 5 campuses. It's something that I want to focus on. Like, this is my second year. This is my second year, towards the end of my second year in CCSAI, and I believe that inclusion is something that we can do better. We can have more events that is not just parties all the time. We can have like relaxation events, more, or like paint nights, or let's say adulting 101, where students would like to learn how to like fix cars and all that. So having this different programs, not just focus on parties all the time, is something that I really want to see in CCSAI. And with my leadership, I strongly guarantee you that it's gonna happen. And like what I said, it's gonna be in all campuses for all people.
Thank you, Justin. Okay, so we will wrap up the question period of the presidential forum there. Thank you to both candidates for your genuine and honest answers. We'll now move to closing remarks. So 3 minutes from each candidate to wrap up and deliver your closing remarks to the student body, starting with Mr. Lim. You're just fixing the time. Closing remarks, 3 minutes.
Well, as I stand here in front of everyone today, I urge you to vote. Vote for who's right and vote who deserves this position. It is something that with a collective group of voters from 20,000 students of Centennial College, we can make a difference. Like last year, we have voted Samuel Kasais, someone who's dedicated and true to his work. This year, let's vote for Justin Paulo Lim, someone who's for the students and hashtag just in time for change, for diversity, for inclusion, and everything in between. I promise you that I will do my best to serve the Centennial College population. I promise you that I will keep my word, because as a student of Centennial College, that's what we're taught, to keep our word, to serve our students and our community. I also urge you to vote for me. It's because I'm the kind of person who guarantees proper leadership and honesty and integrity. I'm the kind of leader who serves students, not leads people. I'm here to serve students for 1 more year, and I believe that I can do it. Hashtag just in time for Justin.
Thank you, Mr. Lim. Karimjit Singh.
Thank you. Why Karamjeet? I'm a leadership and management student. We are talking about leadership here. I have been learning that inside my class and outside, being involved with different departments and also being a part of CCSAI. So I'm not just restricted to one thing. I have learned change management, which is coming as we have student choice initiatives. So I will be using all the skills I have learned within my program to serve students better. Vote for me because I have been through those 3 years which you might be right now studying. I know how hard it is for students to work, to go to their class, like not getting proper sleep or like not having enough opportunities which you don't like you don't know about it. So making sure that you are being aware of what's going on, what you have at school, what you can use. You are always being heard. There is always a sport for you. So making sure that somebody is always there to hear you. And also, I would like to say that be great in an act as you have been in your thoughts. It's by William Shakespeare, and it's very close to my heart because we all think that we are great in our mind, but we are not able to show it in action. And I promise you that I'll make all of you proud by whatever I think is great to putting that in action, and we will all do great things. Thank you, and vote for Karamjit Singh.
Thank you, Karamjit. Okay, can we get one final round of applause for both of the candidates for the Presidential Candidate Forum? I'll now invite Sadaf back to the stage for some closing remarks and information about voting.
Thank you, Eric. Thank you, candidates, for sharing your thoughts and being here with us today. So I want to thank all of you for being here and asking questions to our candidates. Please remember, elections are on March 12th and 13th. Don't forget to vote. You'll get the link in your email. Again, a round of applause for our candidates, and thank you for being here. Thank you. Yeah, we're done.